Hello, folks. I'm the Red, and this is Esoteric Ebb, a game I was recommended based on enjoying Disco Elysium. And I don't really know much about it other than some bits that I gleaned from the store page, which was its D&D or high fantasy like, and is stylistically, structurally similar to Disco Elysium. I think we're just gonna jump right in. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time talking about a game I don't know. Uh, ooh, okay. Yeah, we have background focus, punching bag, troll killer, uh, chaos kid gives dex and charisma, lore enthusiast, crowd pleaser, um, little weirdo. Oh, that one hits. Axilist activist. As a teenager, he spent years spreading chaos and worst, dwarf propaganda. Uthgard the recruit. One friend. You really ever only prayed for that one thing during those lonely years, but the gods did not answer. So you learn to manage, as always. Oh, I think that might be the one we go for. Arcane Prodigy, Palace Pawn, Faithful. Hold on. Why? These are given dates here, I'm noticing. Um, Faithful Harbinger. There's something wrong. Praying to a dead god whose whispers linger in the air, slowly fading. You're isolated among your peers. Esoteric expert, revolutionary scribe. There's a lot of these backgrounds here. Can I just like get a big choice of them? Dead cleric. Growing up alone, getting in trouble, training with the Uthgard, devoting your life and becoming a cleric. Was it always supposed to end in the river? And then yeah, punching bag. This was the original one. You're a farmer's son who grew up in the city. Of course you'd be an outcast. Took time, but eventually figured out how to cope with it. Okay, one friend. You only ever really prayed for that one thing during those lonely years, but the gods did not answer, so you learned to manage as always. And then if we... Yeah, so the other thing I noticed about this game is that you just play as a cleric. You don't make a choice. Oh, and then we click on proficiencies here. Imperative to simply explain to the people that the right to choose. Believe in oneself is just. Steal anything. Uses. Extra items. Religious fervor. Increase manhood. Just run away, dummy. Constitution. Pain is good for you. Hit points. Intelligence, be a genius without peers. Wisdom, there are no big bad evil guys. Egalitarian hope of the Axgalian working class. Be kind and see the good in folks. Okay, so I think I'm gonna throw a proficiency here in wisdom, and I'm gonna bring this up to like. I'm looking at the points here. Oh, we can bring it all the way up to 16? Wait, hold on. 10 is plus 2. Oh, we get plus 2 for proficiency. I don't want 0 charisma. Be arguably sociopathic. Automatic discount in select stores near you. I'm going to put a proficiency in intelligence. And bring this up to at least 10. Charisma, also 10. I'm going to bring Constitution up. we're getting a +2 in Dex anyways, right? Yeah. And it doesn't look like it limits your cap, but you still spend 1 point per. So is this the build I'm going for here? Solid wisdom and dexterity. This is like no D&D build I would ever make for a cleric, an actual cleric, like a D&D cleric. But those for the best wizard. You roll votes for whatever makes him popular. Socialized as a child. Okay, maybe I should take off charisma then. I was not socialized as a child. Has no soul? What? Okay, so these are going to play out like the Disco Elysium thoughts, right? Keeps forgetting there's an election. Votes for revolutionary free striders. Votes for the party of Nordvik. Prays to his dead gods. Uses brute force on puzzles. Oh, these are implications for what we do based on what we have. Low intelligence, knows nothing, is an oblivious fool. I'm wondering if this text here is deliberately jammed in. I did increase the size of the text slightly, just because I wanted to, but I think we're gonna go with this build. 5 days until the first ever election. An explosion erupts at the heart of the city. No one wants to deal with it, so they send you. A weak cleric among his peers, yet quick and nimble, ready to get the job done. Complete your quests in any order. Don't be afraid to make interesting choices. And remember to get a ton of loot. The campaign will take you from level 1 to 6. We'll play for about 5 to 8 sessions. It's been a journey to put this together. I hope you have a good time. Crisp. And only 8 strength? Just avoid going solo in the dungeon. Speak with Dead. 3rd level necromancy spell. I mean, yeah, this is straight up a D&D... this is straight up a D&D spell block. It's been quite a while since I played D&D. The last one I played at any length was 3.5. And I'm guessing this is going to be based on 5th edition, which I read 4th, but I never have looked at 5th, actually. Anyways, I know what Speak with Dead with, and let's just speak with the dead. Hello? Poke? Click? Truth and nothing else, a voice declares. What is your name? Intelligence DC 8 success, Rung. Your name is Rung. It's Rung, is that it? Don't think you're called that very often. Success? Oh, no, you are not. We are not called by our name very often, which is quite embarrassing when you think about it. I mean, what is this that's calling us? Anyways, it's not Faye asking for our name. It is... What is your name? Our name is Rung. My initial is My initial thought is, Faye, what is, can I have your name? But no, not the context in which this is being asked, obviously. Correct. You answer another, excuse me. You answer another question from the darkness. What is your occupation? What's an occupation in this context? Work. Getting paid for labor. You could have spoken up earlier. This is for sure about your job. You know, the job. Your class. Tell the voices about your class. About your class. I have a very important job to do. There was an explosion, right? That's our job to handle that? Or is it just being a cleric in general? You do. And I probably should give these. It looks like our 6 stats are the voices we get a la Disco Elysium. So I should give those. They're on voice tier, so I should give them voices, yeah? I haven't done that yet, but you do. And it'll be a great payday. Takes a while before the next question is posed. What is your current goal? Goal would be nice to get out of this dark pit for one. We need to find out who blew up the tea shop. The Goblin Chieftain. She needs you. You've asked me. This is the 3rd question you've asked me. Why all these questions? No clue, but you should keep them talking. Charisma failed there. It's been silent here for too long. Tea shop exploded? Unfortunately, yes. That's not good. I like tea shops. They are lovely, yes. You may ruminate further on tea shops at a later date. There is a question to be answered. Your goal is to get out of the darkness. I don't know what Constitution's on about. Keep looking for a way out. No reply, no feedback. Then the voice asks, what is your political affiliation? Question strikes your entire consciousness, sending it spinning. If you care for your fellow, vote for the Asgalists. No way. Those dwarves want to take everything from you, which isn't much, but still. It is the duty of the powerful to lead. That is you, no one else. We've moved beyond the bounds of dictators. We're free to make our own choices, thanks to the revolutionary freestriders. Elections are exhausting. This is the first time strength is speaking up and it's as a failure. It hides in the back of your skull a fact that you are bound to be a nationalist. And it frightens you, the pressure. So wisdom and free striders are the 2 choices here because they're 2 aligned with our actual stats. I think I'm gonna go with the wisdom, the Agsgalists. Election week. Life is a struggle to alleviate oppression. The exiles know this well. You have supported them in the past. Time to do so again. The voice is fading. This is the end. The final question. How did you die? Same way you lived, unable to step out of the uniform. Not for 1 second. Now's your chance. Break free. I am not dead. Yeah, so I'm not super aware of the background of this game. I didn't actually do much research. I excuse me, I seem to have a frog in my throat today. I was recommended it largely based off of, or really I only found it because someone posted it in a Disco Elysium forum saying like, hey, if you like Disco Elysium, you might like this. I saw it looked vaguely interesting, and I'm gonna give it a try. I was planning originally on doing another Let's Play of something else, but mechanical issues have rendered that one, here we get the title screen, have rendered that one, if I want to do it, I'll have to start from scratch, so I decided I didn't want to start from scratch because that would feel annoying in the moment, so I played this instead. I was thinking of playing this on my own, just because of the recommendation, but I see no reason not to do it for the channel. Here we are, waking up like the nameless one. Right, that's the name of the nameless one. March 22nd, PE. I didn't catch what the actual year was. Nah. A fresh start. Your heartbeat is loud, screaming. Your body aches. It's stiff, as if you've slept for days. Don't sleep in the armor, dumbass. Ready for the quest to continue. A circular stone chamber. A storage for apples and corpses. Those piles of apples. Is this toll stand? I see apples and corpses. Get the fuck out of here, now. What about our stuff? What stuff? Your hands dart around your pouch and uniform. Panic. Sweat. No spell book, no mace. Face it, you've been robbed. Your legs shake. Hairs begin to form. Deep breaths. Your belongings are surely here somewhere. What was that about a quest? Oh, yes. A quest. Interact with the highlighted words? What highlighted words? Earth be blessed. Do I remember everything? Yes, everything is off, but your memory is intact. Your quest was given yesterday. Remember, the tea shop. The tea shop? Yep, the tea shop that blew up. Easy job. You'll be done in a day or two. Just a job? So I've done this before. Well, maybe not this particular type of job. Your previous experience lies more in some basic Earthguard militia services, as well as a few years at the Tower? The Towers, the home base of the Order of Arcane Clerics of Norvik, also known as OACN. A cleric, a servant of a god, deeply devoted and spiritually connected, typically a divine spellcaster given power through their deity. Divine, one of three pillars of magic, is represented by the sacred, the faith of all folks, their soul, and is granted by the gods who once walked among us. I mean, arcane will be the other one. What's the third, though? Rogue sorcery was not your main subject. But yes, you've read a lot about these types of firing events. They are not too common these days. However, this incident does not appear overly complex. Wait, how much time do I have? Until the election, duh. Which is in 5 days. Time only advances when you make new choices and dialogues. Yeah, so mechanically, seems to be totally almost identical to Disco Elysium in a lot of ways. So to be clear, I need to figure out who blew up some random tea shops, more or less. But you've got like 5 days to do it. No stress. There's that feeling again. The feeling you're about to enter a path from which there is no way back. No way back? That doesn't sound good. Good or bad, you won't know until you've reached the end. Yeah, it's very ominous. You feel dizzy. The weight of the Earthguard uniform. A dull pain takes hold. Your body aches. Its contents rotting. You must consume an apple. Now. If your stats are high or low enough, chimes will appear in your mind. They suggest, inform, and offer unique paths. Trust them at your own risks. As you do, rubbing our temples. As you do, your fingers touch upon cold steel. It is covering your entire head. Colloquially known as a helmet. Can I take it off? No. I wouldn't do that. Like ripping off your own face. Not a good idea. Not yet. I can't wait until you do. Okay, thank you. So yeah, our behold, an apple looks better than the ones in the pile. So I go ahead and take that one then. Our inventory here. Oh, inventory consume buttons over here. This is ours. Tattered cloak. The cloak is sprawled upon the iron slab. As you grab it, you immediately feel the dampness spreading into your gloves. Oh. It is light blue and tattered. And it was once yours. And please don't. This thing is disgusting. Let's wring it out. The filthy liquid falls to the floor. It smells of salt water. It is still quite wet. And it is heavy. Should I wear this? No? Of course you should wear it. A hood is a perfect tool for any decent rogue and or ne'er-do-well. So what if it's a little damp? You have to wear it. But I'm not a rogue. Sorry, the word I am not a rogue is not in your vocabulary, actually. Please rephrase. You don't tell me what to do. See? That's what a good rogue would say. You reach for your fancy red pouch of holding. The cloak easily slips inside into the extra-dimensional space with a satisfying slurp. Oh, gods, I can fit so many items in this thing. Yes, you are very lucky. This kind of magic item can go upwards of 10,000 crowns. The Norvik crown, the main coinage of Norvik. Norvik crown, the official currency of Norvik, suffered heavy inflation during the years under Earth's passing. A meal is somewhere between 5 to 20 crowns. A cheap month's rent is 100 crowns. A spellbook is 50 crowns. Average salary outside the city is up to 300. Average salary inside the city is up to 500. Earth's passing, the day your god died. Norvik used to celebrate this with fervor when you were little, as many fanatics believed he would return if they hosted a truly legendary feast. Earth's passing. Drink and feasting with family and friends. Most used to ignore the darkness of winter outside. It's not yours, though. It's the city's. You can't use it for anything. Shut up. It's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. Now, go put on your cloak and reallocate some resources, also known as rob some people. And yes, if we put it on, it'll give us stat changes. It's a corpse under a blanket. You stare at a blue rag. It's draped over an outline of someone. I'm just going to pull it open. Underneath, you find the cold corpse of a human. Human, tall and beautiful like yourself, known as the pest of the coast by those who are less inclined to reproduce like rabbits. The coast, also known as Jor's Realm, it is a strip of land divided into 8 bands. The further inland you go, the closer you get to the infinite wastes. It is theorized to be a ring or sphere due to the bend of the horizon. A band, an esoteric divide, splits the circular coast of Jor into 8 geographic areas, commonly known as bands. Each band has unique esoteric and natural traits and stretches from the coast to the infinite wastes. It is a strip of land divided into 8 bands. So, okay, so the coast is 8 different areas. Esoteric, the magic of Jor and his strings. The coast is infused with it. Jor, the name of our realm, also the name of the legendary wizard who created it. He died during the closing at the end of the Gate era. Wizard, a book-learned arcane spellcaster, typically plays Jor's strings by memorizing and executing esoteric rituals and chants. Arcane, one of the 3 pillars of magics. It is represented by the force that makes up all esoteric events. Those who plays Jor's strings taps into these powers, probing the laws of existence around their whims. Jor's strings, the ley lines of esoteric powers that hold the realm together. Okay. So, arcane is a little tied to the land. Thinning blonde hair, unkept facial hair. The man that we're looking at here. The difficulty class of a dice choice is determined by how challenging that roll will be for you. For us specifically, like the DC is a shifting target based on our stats. Oh no, this is just indicating now we can make the choice to roll. Okay. If you select a dice choice, you will then roll a 20-sided die. Yep. Let's examine him closer. I don't need to know whether or not I'm good with corpses. I'm good with corpses because I choose to be. And with our bonus, easy. There's something strange here. This is no regular, gentle repose. Look close, but do not move the corpse. Harsh scars over the skin. Signs of either a hard worker or a careless worker litter his skin. Cause of death appears to be not directly visible. No blunt trauma either. Considering his age and the shape of his body, the man most likely died of a common disease or internal failure. That's pretty broad and vague. Unless you're willing to start cutting, that's all you'll get. Except, what? There's also markings on the right leg, a circle with a cross inside of it. You recall, that is the markings of PR, potential revivication. Alright, this guy can be revived? Seems so. He most likely died during care and was granted immediate gentle repose. However, he clearly did not have an RV, a revive fund, nor did he have family members with enough ready cash. Or perhaps he was just an unlikable fellow? Who knows? So I could cast Revivify on this guy? Do we have that spell? Potentially, yes. Although the question is more akin to why should you? A third level spell slot is a valuable resource. Why waste it on some blue collar corpse? That's terrible. If you can, always save a life or bring it back. That is always the right choice. Of course it isn't. Ignoring the fact that you cannot simply spend your power on any old fool. There are also a million outcomes to a resurrection that could lead to a negative outcome in the world. A resurrection, the act of returning a dead person to life. Many spells from a weak Revivify to legendary true resurrection. So Revivified, third level necromancy, used within 60 seconds of death and the body isn't too ruined. The target is brought back to life. Apparently, Gentle Repose extends the 60-second timer. True Resurrection is 9th level, which is the highest you get. Capable of bringing anyone. If you believe the legends, there are many different tales, different takes, but generally you cannot use it on a creature who has been dead for over 200 years, despite your good intentions. Good intentions build a better world. Perhaps in a foolish alignment system, but not in reality. So yeah, the good-evil alignment of D&D, which was very much downplayed in 4th and then more so even in 5th edition, according to what I know. So why is he here? This is a morgue, a lich house, clearly. A mortuary, a holding space for dead bodies. During times of undeath, they are known to be heavily guarded. Corpses are kept on cooling in places like this before cremation or burial. The apples make it hard to believe, but yeah, must have been one hell of a deal to put those two together. Who is this guy? His hands are calloused. He's built like a sarcophagus. Just a man. A dead man. It's okay to loot him? Yeah, why not? If you can suffer the loss of moral integrity. Moral integrity? It's a dead guy. He's not going to need his stuff, obviously. Not like the guy will complain, but don't go around talking about it too loud, okay? Grave robbing is frowned upon by some, even in these enlightened times. Just stop bothering the corpse. So if I trifle... I'm sorry, dude, but I could use the stuff. Questing tree. So, 300 pieces. The tea shop. Election week. These are connecting to things where 1 point Exgalis, this is our political alignment. Oh, it's interesting that this is just overlaid right into the world. This is our inventory. We've got our tattered cloak, which will give us 1 dex but minus 1 charisma. We've got all of our stuff in there now. Journal. City, esoterics. Which is things that we've learned. Folk, geography, history, languages, literature, nature, politics, religion. Okay, Jor was a person. And then we've got our spell book. Oh, spell book here. Prepared spells. Spell difficulty. All we have is 1 first level spell. Okay. And we've got 3 first level slots. So it looks like we're a level 1 wizard. Level 1 cleric. Oh, not what I meant to do. The vase of leaves. Let's take this incense. A divine shrine covered in apples. The runes fill your senses as you approach. The color is faded, this monument is hollow, devoid of all life and divinity. And worse, it's covered in rotten apples. Are these rare? No, you will find shrines like this all over Norvik. Norvik, the central city in Ashkani, the last bastion of humanity. It was founded upon the end of the Reconquest in 468 AE, exactly 70 years ago. So AE is the previous era. Ashkan, one of the 8 bands along the coast. It is cold. It is a cold, mountainous realm. It is your home. Also referred to Ashkani interchangeably. Can I pray here? To what exactly? To Earth, of course. There are many gods listening to our prayers, always. Just remember they might not respond so clearly. So I can pray to some random god? You may pray as you wish. There's an internal element to it that is underappreciated. I mean, this kind of feels like a... Excuse me. This kind of feels like a little bit of an insult. Like, you just got this shrine here that's dumped, like apples dumped all over. Why are these rotten apples being dumped here? In, like, what is otherwise being used as a grave area? It feels like an insult. Indeed. Yet, you are very much aware that this is not the worst you'll see. Well, okay, doesn't mean it's not insulting. You'll have to fight hard to keep Earth's dream afloat. The city is lost, but it is not yet lost. How poetic. You're also aware the city is very much in need of change. Change from what? An honorable lifestyle? A peaceful city for humans to prosper in? Change from stagnation and a mire of decay. Earth's crusade brought triumph. The corruption brought after his fall is due to exactly that kind of filthy rhetoric. You're certainly allowed to be wrong in your opinion here. Let's remove the apples. It does not take long for you to move some of the nasty apples away from the front of the shrine. A small improvement, but big in the heart. We kneel and the shrine towers over us. To cast spells, you must first prepare them at shrines. Prepared spells can be cast when the cleric has a reason to do so, either in or out of dialogue. Each cast expends 1 spell slot of the corresponding level. What other gods are there? Many. You know a few. Earth, father of Norvik. You devoted your life to follow his footsteps. Asgal Ashmask, Dwarven god of exiles and egalitarianism. Asgal Ashmask, a dwarf of low caste born deep in the Lek Mizur tunnels when he attained divinity in 443 AE. That actually wasn't that long ago. 470-ish was like 20 years ago, right? He crushed the kingdoms and formed the Asgal Folkhem Forge. On his death in 470, a great civil war broke out, resulting in the exile of all his followers to the surface. But its influence was felt all around the undercoast and above, as his exiled dwarves spread Asgalism to all corners of Jor. Undercoast, a nickname for the undersea coast. The undersea coast. The gravity-reversed cavern, sea, and archipelago, right underneath the coast. Dig down far enough, you'll end up passing through the gravity flip, and then you can make the climb to the undercoast. So, it's the Underdark, just specifically coastal and gravity flipped. Okay. His followers do not pray to him, for he is not. His followers, as Galashmas, his followers do not pray to him, for he is not even seen as a god by most. Tokig the Gambler, a trickster, the type of god only famous for his ridiculous ploys. Tolkien the Gambler is often seen as a silly goblin myth. A trickster goblin who united the tribes of Ashkanani during the Divine Era, most famous for cutting off his right hand to fulfill a prophecy. Goblins, short and green, got claws and fangs, little monsters. They've got 3 tribes in Norvik and are considered somewhat civilized. A monster, short for monstrosity, defined as a non-sentient creature born out of magical means, often by combining various natural beasts or from curses or esoteric events. In truth, there are few goblins who still worship him after the conquest, a correct way of referring to historical events in which humans founded Norvik. Most humans, however, refer to it as the Reconquest. The Reconquest, a historical event in Norvik. It began with Earth's landing in 466 AE and said to have been finished 468 when Earth finished eradicating the trolls who roamed in the ruins of Tolling Cult. It is a point of contention if it should be called a reconquest or just a conquest, as no human ever lived in the locations before. Then what? That's just dumb. Troll, a monster native to Askan. They exist in broad categories, from small and mostly harmless green trolls to mutated, volatile, cursed trolls. They vary in intelligence, strength, and organizational abilities, but they are a core enemy of the Earth folk. It was Earth who destroyed their rising kingdom during the late Arcane Era. Okay, so the previous era was the Arcane Era. Earth folk are the people of Earth, the ancestors of those who reconquested the Ashkani coast, true mythological hero. So that's not us. The Arcane Area, 511 years of rapid magical and technological growth. So 511 is the last year of the Arcane Era. As well as the birth and death of the great human majocracies in Dimmor, now Reeds, ended 27 years ago. Dimmor, the Arcane Era for Reeds, the Arcane Era name for Reeds, often refers to Old Dimmor. The name was changed by Free Strider revolutions to mark the end of the old majography. Free Strider, the new way. People in the east have overthrown the old wizards and gods. Now it's time to finally join the free cities and get rich. Free cities, collection of cities in Reeds. So this sounds like something to the east of us. Norvik will join them one way or another. Reeds, one of the 8 bands of the coast. Yes, this is another band. This is another area. Temperate land of lowland and many links, commonly seen as homeland of humans. So humans existed originally to the east and have conquered this area and are calling it a reconquest for no discernible reason other than propaganda. Breeds, the leftover, the center of the Coast War. But it's not on the coast, right? Which ripped the entire band apart. Today, it's a shining beacon. Coast War, the Great War, conflict with the arcanists of Reeds, as well as other nations from across the coast. A horrible waste of human lives, which claimed millions. Coast War, near century-spanning conflict. Scholars estimate claim more than half the entire human population. The 4th out of 5 eras, when the Arcanists rose and dominated the entire coast. Arcanists, majocracies, Old Dimmor, turn for Dimmor, often used for the band before name renamed Reeds. Basically, way to refer to the old empire. Dimmor, anyone uses the term for anything modern is either an anti-free strider or lives under a rock. Rock, a giant bird, a beast born through esoteric means. There are a handful of them found throughout the skies of Ashkani. Has nothing to do with rocks. Wisdom, how was that a success? Praying to Torkic would, if for some reason Praying to Torkic would, if you for some reason would get a response, only result in the exact opposite of whatever you wanted. I mean, would it be the opposite of what we wanted or what we prayed for? Because if we can trick the trickster, then, you know, whatever. Who's the fair lady? The Lady Fair and Those Not is the founding myth of the Four-Nip Commonwealth. The young halfling... Okay, so this is the halfling god. Young halfling leads a clan. Commonwealth, United States of Halfling lands in Western Ashkan, also known as the Clan lands. So to our west, meaning that we're also not on the coast, right? Unless the coast is to the north or the south. Golden Horde, remnants of Celestial Empire in Divinitorum, led by Horrifying Choir, hyper-intelligent light being. They spread fear throughout their lands. One of 8 bands along the coast, clan lands, term for unified halfling states. Halfling deity of Ashkan, but she only has the divine spark for a few days before. She only had that divine spark for a few days before being slain. So it looks like gods really just come and go in this setting. She said she led 5,000 halfling through the snowy hills. Never once were they spotted. Praise you're not too familiar with the Four Nips goddess, nor how to pray to her. Okay, let's pray. You take a deep breath and begin your prayer. And tranquility. Let's contemplate the tea shop. Let your mind go through the basics. The tea shop was destroyed in the middle of the day. Minor injuries were reported. Your goal is to enter the tea shop and investigate it properly. In the election, the first election, your vote won't matter. Your vote will be the most important one of all. Ask those around you what they will vote for, and you might find out your own voice along the way. I can return here, yes? Always. Talking to yourself, huh? Must be a lonely guy. And let's finish our prayers. Let's prepare spells. Right? Or to cast spell slots. We have 0 prepared spells. 2 plus your class level plus your intelligence. Okay. We now have, cure wounds prepared. There was one last thing. Oh, no, never mind. I'm gonna go, very important piece of paper. Voting card. So, these recover spell slots. Let's examine this. Sure. You pick up the surprisingly thick piece of paper with a shaking hand. The card is slightly worn and has clearly been drenched at some point. On the top it says Rust Not in big bolder letterings. Voting card. 5 days remaining. How does this thing work? After you pick it up at a district office, you only need to check the box of one of the 5 parties. Then you deliver it on election day to a polling place. Although in your case, you don't need to write the name of the party you want in the corner. You need to write the name of the party you want in the corner along with a signature, since you filled out every box like an idiot. This is your one vote. You should indeed take care of it. If you really believe in democracy, you should make sure not to lose it. Said to originate from the early arcane era. Really messy and inefficient process. Monarchs Garden divide Jor into 5 eras. They use canonically important events. This is the post-war era. Current era has lasted 27 years. Post-war, the fifth and current era, only 27 years in, but often seen as an era of mending after the brutal Coast War. Many suggest it will be an era of ideologies, a struggle to determine the next dominant force on the coast. Alright, that's an election. It was nice not to think about it for once. You prepared all your life for this. It's time for change, baby. Time for a damn revolution. We'll bring it all down and build it up again. Not too hard, someone could get hurt. List of parties is a nationalist party, magistrate is one of the 5 rulers, the palace is a palace which has its own district, Free Striders Revolutionary Party, Gaulists, the workers who built this city want to rule. It seems only just. Their vision is fair and even society. Why can't we share? Agrarian Rural Party, those who live off the earth, simple farmers, people of the land, the common clay of the Shikani fields. Their political movement, the most of them swallowed by the Asgalis, the Workers' Party. Arcanus, Party of Magic, and finally, the last box doesn't say anything. This is where you can input whatever you want or just leave it empty. The box next to each party is filled with a smudged checkmark, including the last empty one. Are these all the parties? No. There are about a dozen other large parties in Norvik. Most have been subsumed over the last few years, such as Civic League, the Progressives, Torch, various guilds. The Agrarians and Arcanists are the only ones who have not joined a larger party or fallen aside. Okay, good to know. So yeah, the influence of Disco Elysium, and I've said it repeatedly here, but the influence is a little heavy-handed. Honestly, I'll say. It's become quite obvious that yes, there was an intention to ape Disco Elysium, not just in game design, which we can see if you have ever played it or seen it played, we can see, but also in themes, having that political themes be at the very first forefront of everything. Like, it's honestly a little heavy-handed so far, but I'm gonna give this game a continuing shot. If it's just way too heavy-handed and the story gets boring, I might drop it. But it deserves more than an hour, which is about the length of time I normally make my videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you've enjoyed this Let's Play so far, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see me continue playing this, liking and commenting is the best way to get me to continue playing it, regardless of my own opinions on the game, and, you know, have me continue commenting on what I think. If you've enjoyed this Let's Play, I hope to see you again, and hope to see you next time. Because I will at least be doing one more video. Honestly, I'll probably at least be doing 3 to 4 videos minimum on this, just because that's, you know, my normal recording schedule. But as I said, a little heavy-handed at the start here. So we'll see what it has to hold, but I can't promise that we're gonna complete this. Not right now. Maybe it'll hook me later, but it's got to work, a little bit of work to do that. Anyways, as I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.